Hey, teacher friend. Welcome back to another episode of Teacher Let Your Light Shine. If you are new with us, we're so happy that you are here. But don't stop here. Head on over to our Facebook group. It's titled Start Your Microschool or Homeschooling Business. It's been called the happiest little corner outside of heaven. So head on over there because there's so many people that will greet you and just love on you and help you and answer your questions. Again, that's Start Your Microschool or Homeschooling Business. You just type that into the search bar on Facebook. In today's episode, I'm going to be asking you if there are 5 beliefs that are keeping you stuck in not creating your own business. In last week's episode, or the last episode, I talked about 5 questions to ask yourself if you're ready or not to start your own business, to start your own microschool, your own tutoring business, basically starting your own educational business, okay? This is what this is about. This isn't just about starting your microschool. Call it a learning pod, call it a homeschooling business, do your tutoring business. It all falls into the same thing. Yes, it does. So if you've not listened to that, go over there. But in today's episode, 5 beliefs that you could be hanging on to. Seriously, this is going to take some soul work. I'm not going to get too deep on you today, but I am going to ask you, are you believing this? Because if you are, honey bunny, you better get a hold of me because we need to get you set up for success. Let's get into it. Welcome, teacher, to the Let Your Light Shine podcast. If you're searching for the freedom and permission to design the life you love as a teacher, you're in the right place. I'm on a mission to help teachers just like you build their own dream school or homeschooling business. In this present day, the world needs you, teacher friend, to step out in faith and give students an education they love and so deserve. In this podcast, I will teach you how to start a fulfilling and profitable homeschooling business that lights you up. I'm Makenzie Oliver, former elementary teacher and instructional coach, gone homeschool teacher and business builder. I'm here to empower you to step outside the classroom and choose the experiences, the curriculum, and all the moments that put a smile on your face and your students. Does it seem like a dream? Well, it did to me, until God opened the doors and made it reality. Together, we are breaking through fears and moving the crowd. So get out your notebook, sharpen your pencil. It's time to get your teach on. All right, everybody. I gotta say that the most difficult part of stopping what you're doing or jumping ship, starting a new career, building your own business, starting your micro school, the biggest barrier is our mindset and our belief systems and the things that we have told ourselves are truth, or the beliefs that we've carried with us from time after time with talking to our parents or talking to our grandparents. Trust me, I had to go through all of these myself. I'm still chipping away at the beliefs that are ingrained in me and really having to fight through some of this. So I don't want you to think that I'm just like, oh, this is so easy and I can't believe that you still think like this. I mean, come on. We're in a society, we're in a fallen world where there's so much coming at us. There's so many distractions. It's be this, look at this, do this, go with the crowd, be like everybody else. Don't do that. That's scary. That's risky. And so in today's episode, I'm going to share with you 5 beliefs that can get you stuck, or maybe keeping you stuck. And then I'm going to tell you if any of these are for you, you need to head on over to www.teachersletyourlightshine.com/coaching and you need to snag your clarity session because in the month of June, I've got 5 spots available where I can coach you through and help you break through your limiting beliefs and help you get on a path for success. I will coach you, give you next steps, give you a goal, priorities, and strategies. You walk away with a timeline. You walk away with next steps. If you head on into our Facebook group, you will hear from people that have had coaching sessions, and I'm not tooting my horn. I'm just telling you, it's just because of the process. of being able to sit across the table from someone who's gone through this before, who can help you. So head on over, snag your clarity session, because let's face it, it's summertime and everybody's got a little bit more spare time. And I'm over here going, I want to help you, but I got a limited amount of time myself. So snag them up. I'm excited to work with you. Let's look at our very first belief. That is belief number 1, or maybe what you're telling yourself. Let's start like that. Number 1, are you telling yourself that you need to have blank before starting? Like this. We'll go something like this. I keep telling myself that I don't have any students yet. I don't have enough money yet. I don't have my location yet. I don't know how to do this, so I can't start. I have been working closely with a group of 9 teachers over the past month specifically, but more, before even this educational marketing series that I've been doing, a group coaching. We have people from all walks of life. People who are single, people who are married, people who are leaving their teaching career, people who are homeschooling. They all come for different walks of life, and all of them could have used any of these before they started saying yes to the call. They could have used any of these to stop them. And they still battle it, don't get me wrong. But they at least stepped out and are like, okay, I don't have the kids yet, but I'm going to work to get them. I don't know where the money's going to come yet, but I know that God's going to provide. I don't have my location yet, but guess what? I got the biz bundle. I signed up for the educational marketing series. I'm putting my best foot forward. I'm doing the best I can. I'm going to meet with a realtor to find a location for my house. That's one of our teachers in there. For me, I don't have the location that I want right now. But guess what? I'm still doing it. Am I in my most ideal place right now? No. But I'm a lot farther than what I ever came from, that's for sure. And what's really beautiful is that you get to be with me through this journey. And so I'm so grateful for you that you even are listening to this podcast, that you're a part of our group, that you're a part of our network. But you could be telling yourself a big stumbling block lie that's keeping you from starting. Every single person who started a business had no one at first. The person who started baking cakes in their kitchen and not knowing who they were going to give it to or sell it to, they started out just like you, going, I don't know if anyone's going to get this. I don't have the money to go and set up a table yet. I don't have enough money to go and get a food truck. But little by little, you get what you give. You get what you give. And so don't let that stop you. If you are stuck on, I don't know how, then let me tell you how. You grab somebody and you ask them for help. The greatest lesson that I've learned in this entire business building has been that I need a who. I need a who. A W-H-O, a who, a person. I need a person to help me. I needed a person to help me start this business. I needed a mentor. I needed a coach to help me start my podcast. I need someone to help me with my Teacher Let Your Light Shine business. I need people. I need my husband. I need my friends. I need a group of people who can support me, and you do too. The next limiting belief, number 2, believing that you have to know exactly how you're going to do this blank. Tutoring business, microschool. You don't have all of the how-tos. Well, the first thing you have to do is say yes. The first thing you have to do is say, yes, I want to learn more. Yes, I want to figure this out. So many people start with just saying, I know what identity I want to have. I know the type of person that I want to be. Even if you don't have all of the details, you know you want to be a happier person. You know you want to be a more fulfilled person. You've got goals in life. Maybe you don't even have clear goals, but you have some sense of what you want your life to be like. But you don't exactly have to know how to do it before you ever get started. And sometimes the how will completely trip us up. Like, I'm going to be honest right now. I'm sitting here doing a podcast thinking about my bathroom and how I need to purge out so much of my bathroom. And I'm going, how do I do this? Do I go get this? Blah, blah, blah. Do I do that? And I'm like, I'm overthinking it. Go get a trash bag, get in there and declutter that bathroom. Come on, sister. Same thing. We overthink how. And I'm so guilty of this myself. But guess what? I pushed through the weeds. I pushed through the cobwebs. I dusted things off. I sat for a minute, did my whole how, found somebody, started doing my research, got a coach, got some help, got plugged in, did it, and so grateful that I did. So if you're thinking to yourself, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, get a coach, get into a group, get some books, start reading. Now, there's not a lot of books out there about building schools and tutoring businesses that I know of that you can go to, but I can tell you what, a lot of it you can find online. A lot of it, I've got hours upon hours of free content for you. You've got free help in our Start Your Microschool or homeschooling group. You could pay someone to coach you, to help you break through and get your life together in order as much as you could to go and get a 30-minute massage. Come on, friends. I'm serious about this. How much longer are we going to believe the limiting thoughts that keep us trapped? And I'm so there. Yes, I've had to put my money where my mouth is. Yes, I've had to pay for things. And guess what? I have been blessed tenfold. God says, trust me. And guess what? I've had to pay for people who have paid the price and put in the time for this. And I'm happy for it because they saved me time and they saved me a headache and they saved me tons of frustration. So if you believe that you have to start only when you know exactly how to do it, I'm going to tell you that that's not true. You know, right now I just had, again, I keep saying this, but I'm just so proud of the 9 people that are starting their micro school, and they went through the educational marketing series with me. It was 5 weeks of teaching of how to enroll students, and there were so many strategies. It was so jam-packed with nuggets that they're going, oh my gosh, okay, this is a lot, this is deep, this is a lot of information. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. Guess what? They got the how-tos. They didn't get the how-tos before they said, I'm going to do it. They said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start a school. I'm going to start this business, and then I'm going to find out how to do it. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to be reckless here, friends, but I know that if you've been doing a little bit of research, you've got this stirring, you've got this calling, I'm here to tell you, you've got the resources, you've got the support to help you, and you got the brains to do it. Number 3, are you waiting until you have blank to start your business? Oh, I'm waiting until I have the perfect location. Oh, I'm waiting until I have enough money in the bank. Oh, I'm waiting until blank. I'm waiting because I want to take the kids on field trips and I don't have a big enough car yet. I'm waiting because my house, I can do it out of my house, but it needs some updates. You know, I'm going to go back to our podcast episode back in April whenever I had interviewed Brenna Reeves, and she had came into our Facebook group and she said, oh, I really want to start a micro school, but I don't have a location. And I'm like, oh, you can find one. You know, I'm talking to her about it. And she says, well, I do have this old barn in the back, but it's completely, you can't do anything with it. I mean, it's like a goner. And I said, oh, I bet you could turn it into a school. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to need a lot of money. Well, guess what? Here she is with 35 kids enrolled from January until now. And guess what? That school wasn't built yet, and she still got those kids enrolled before that school was built. Hello, have mercy. Woo! Isn't that something to just fuel your fire with? Come on. She didn't have the place yet. Guess what? She got the kids before she got the place. Woo! You got an offer, friends. Number 4. Are you believing that you have to be a pro? Let's just stop there. Are you believing that you have to be a total professional at this. There are many homeschooling parents who are like, well, I'm not a teacher. I can't do this. Yes, you can. And I can tell you how. There are a lot of people who say, well, I'm not a pro at like figuring out if I got to be a private school or a this or a that or a nonprofit. You don't have to know all of that. Well, I'm not a pro. Like I didn't really get any awards as a teacher. And so I don't know if anyone's going to really care about what trust me with their kids or think that I'm a good teacher. You don't have to have awards. Well, I don't have my master's degree. You don't have to have that. Well, I don't have, any type of a business background. You don't have to have that. Come as you are, and God will do the rest. If He called you to it, He'll call you and walk you through it. And number 5, are you believing that in order to do this, you're going to have to sacrifice X, Y, and Z? Is there some sacrifice? Yes, there is. But is it going to be a sacrifice where you're never going to get this time back and you're going to look back at it and it's going to be a waste of time? No. Are you thinking that if I create a micro school, it's going to be so hard I'm going to regret it? Oh, it's going to be hard sometimes. Are you going to regret it? There's probably going to be thoughts that come up with any business that you ever build. But are you going to regret doing it? Or are you going to regret not doing it? That's the question. The greatest question that someone asked me before whenever I was seriously struggling with getting out of my comfort zone. I had a teacher say to me, he said, Makenzie, would you regret doing this? Or would you regret not doing it? And I knew that doing it was going to be the hardest thing I had ever done. But I knew that if I looked back and I didn't do it, I was going to regret it. Are you believing that if you create the successful business or a micro school that it's going to be so complicated and overwhelming, like you're just going to quit and you're not going to be able to do it and you're not going to have the support and it's just going to be awful? Because it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't. I hope that this has encouraged you to really take a look at any type of belief that maybe you're just really struggling with. I have so many times people will come into our Facebook group and they'll just totally dump it out, man. They just they'll just come in and they'll be like, hey, listen, guys, I was going to start this school, but I'm coming up against this and I was going to do this and I'm just feeling like I'm going to throw in the towel. And then the next minute, a month later, they're like, guess what? I got this done and this done. And do you have any ideas for this? Blah, blah, blah. It's incredible. So do not despise the fact that there will be thoughts coming against you. There will be times where you're like, I don't know if I want to do this. This is hard. This is complicated. But guess what? You still got to do it if you feel as if this is something that you've been called to do, if it's something that you're passionate about. And you don't have to take this thought that if it's hard, it's always going to be hard. If it's complicated, it's always going to be complicated. We've got to get rid of that all or nothing. Yeah, there's sometimes where it's hard. Yes, or sometimes when it's complicated. Yes, it's blood, sweat, and tears sometimes. That's with anything that's worth it. It is. Tell me one single person who has started anything and hasn't said, it was difficult, but it was so worth it. People used to laugh at Amazon starting in his garage. Look at him now. Ain't laughing anymore. What about the people that have restaurants, fast food chains started in their kitchen? People aren't laughing anymore. Have you read the story about how Craigslist started? What about Peloton? How about Pet Rock? How about after a night out in a bar listening to friends complain about their pets, a man named Gary Dahl joked about preferring to keep a rock. And then it came into such a successful business idea that, guess what? Although the initial craze died quickly, he ended up selling millions of pet rocks and became a multi-millionaire. What? Oh yeah, pet rocks. Even the story of Crocs and the shoes, the ugly rubbery shoes that my daughter wants to wear constantly. Who would have thought this idea had legs, right? Seriously, Crocs was hatched by 3 friends from Boulder, Colorado, who for some reason were intrigued by marketable possibilities of a spa shoe that could end up becoming so comfortable. How about Beanie Babies back in 1983? I mean, there's so many things that people are like, haha, that'll never work. That's so ridiculous. There's even an app called iFart app. Okay? There's just, and we're worried about creating a business that's going to educate children. Come on, friends. Come on. I love you. I need to hear this too. It's seeping into my soul too. The moment that I get discouraged or I feel, is this going to be something that people are really going to hold on to forever? And I just keep encouraging myself, kids, youth, children, education, it's always going to be needed. If Crocs are going to be needed, if Beanie Babies are going to be needed, if pet rocks are going to be needed, by golly, you know that you educating our children is going to be needed. And that's enough to keep you going. So I hope that inspired you today. Don't forget to head on into our Facebook group and just know that we love you. We're here for you. If you need coaching, go snag your spot at www.teachersletyourlightshine.com/coaching. And until then, I'll see you in our Facebook group. Hey, teacher friend. Thanks so much for listening to today's show. I pray it inspired you, touched you, or challenged you in some way, because we are making big shifts and using our teaching gifts for God's glory like never before. I'm so grateful for you. The number one way you can support this show is to leave a written review on Apple Podcasts and also share this with another teacher. Come join me in the Virtual Teachers Lounge, known as the Teacher Let Your Light Shine Facebook group. Until next time, keep shining your teacher light. The world needs you.